there's a thing that's gone on recently with the Amazon Kindle, which is an electronic book reader, and they basically just went in and took a bunch of books off of people's book readers without asking them, without telling them. They just disappeared. And they did it when it wasn't even hooked up to their computers or anything. It just disappeared. And the book that they actually took off, swear to God, was George Orwell's 1984. An Animal Farm.
So, Terry, it comes and goes.
It showed back up with a different author listed. It was George W. Orwell.
So this starts, actually, this poem's an old poem, but it starts with a quote from Orwell from the essay called Politics in the English Language. It says, "Some metaphors now current have been twisted out of their original meaning, without those who use them even being aware of the fact. For example, the hammer and the anvil, now always used with the implication that the anvil gets the worst of it. In real life, it is always the anvil that breaks the hammer, never the other way about."
Ain't that true?
I hear the anvil victorious, the cradle song of the corridor, the love moan and the widow's wail, the gang rape in the delivery room, the bindle stick in the business suit, the gigahertz computer RAM and the Skinner box bulk mail, the car alarm and the earthquake, the police tape and the pink slip, the myocardial infarct and the surf button, time signature, backbeat, and the shift work punch clock, the brown nose and the butt kiss, the death row cop killer and the videotape commencement address, the casino lights and the prism glass, the oxygen mask and the quarterly report, the son of God in the Jim Crow car, the dark sucker fired Burley and the silver screen gun cotton, the borders crossed by doctors and the disaster rights visa stamps, the King David underdog and the Intifada cobble sling, the martyr and the crosshairs, the trophy wife and the cloaca peck, the augmentation mammoplasty and the daddy dearest lap dance, the courthouse skyscraper, acquitted by the opium war drug czar, the gas mask and the lilac waft, the holy water consecrating the abolitionist gallows, the soundbite pissing contest and the Fortune 500 drug screen, the state-burned philosopher and the paraquat inquisitor, the balalaika balanchine and the $5,000 a week Bays Lagoon Nature Conservancy, pristine wilderness, Pacific coral atoll, the bus stop, busk shop, and the lip sync payola, the dream machine heartthrob, the fore and the aft and the after, the sharecrop chawspit and the TV pundit rumor hawk, the land grant rack rent and the highbrow pose off, the beatified Ritalin in the daycare witch hunt, the universal product phone in the brand name mosh pit, the winding sheet riddle in the head size, rimless cartridges of the bolt action box magazine repeater, like the mandatory hammer of meritocracy, sledging the free weights of untransferable time.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll give you 2. No one's answering.
All right. This is called By the Numbers, and it starts with a quote from Auden. It says, "Thou shalt not sit with statisticians, nor commit a social science. Statistics show ours is by far the wealthiest age in history, but we have less land per person, less green space, and dirtier air and water than ever before. Statistics show that our phones are ineffably sleek and sexy, that we have more of them, make more calls with cleaner connections, and do it for less money. But we say less, forget it faster, confuse more, and abandon commitments sooner. Statistics show life expectancies have increased by 20 years in the past 7. And so, you'll only age by 45 minutes in the next hour. That if you're not already dead, you could live to be 300. But only if you were born yesterday. Statistics show July is warmer than January, and that January is warmer than July. If you happen to live in Australia. Statistics show that every square inch of dry land on the surface of the globe will soon be submerged in wriggling, sinuous human flesh. And that all of these wrigglers will own bigger starter mansions and flat-panel TV sets, louder Dolby with less harmonic distortion, posier shock-absorbing mountain bikes, and that they all will have more, healthier, and better engineered food. Statistics show that the average SUV will soon be bigger than the state of Minnesota and require the total oil reserves of Saudi Arabia just to drive the mean distance between Walmarts, about 50 feet. The computers will soon be so fast you'll be able to calculate tomorrow yesterday and store the Encyclopedia Britannica, the entire archives of the New York Times, the complete works of the Marquis de Sade, and the film library of MGM in something smaller than a drop of mosquito spit. But you still won't be able to find your car keys or wristwatch when you're in a hurry. Statistics show that if present trends continue, children will only be born to unmarried parents, but only married parents will have kids who are educated, housed, clothed, and fed. Statistics show that statistics lie. Statistics show, we all know this. Statistics show that nothing is growing faster than the use of statistics compiled by governments to increase the profits of transnational businesses. Statistics show people choose their statistics to fit their prejudices. They show that you should never think with your heart, never act imprudently, never ignore your own benefit, and never, ever, ever do anything statistics warn you against. What statistics won't show is how or why to love another person. Cherish the beauty that hasn't been spray painted, strip mined, industrialized, or urban sprawled out of existence yet. Demand that the poor and the weak receive the same respect and dignity as the rich and the powerful, or derive the mathematical fraudulence of assuming all humans behave as identical, independently distributed random variables, when they are in fact transcendently, irreducibly, and polydimensionally unique.
Yeah!
And I'll just end with a short summary. This is called shadow. The sky is not as blue. The swifts are not as fleet. The straight line not as true. The cherries are less sweet. The grapefruit is more bitter. The lemons much more sour. The sparrow's less a twitter. The minute lasts an hour. your shadow more, so much less. Less is so much meaner. And failure reaps such great success. The keen is so much keener.
Yeah!